Hello, everyone, and welcome to Timeout from the Tow Line, a relaxing chat with fellow darters. And as you can see, I have the ever popular, famous Christopher Lim joining me today. How are you, sir?
Doing excellent. Thank you for asking. How about yourself?
I am doing well. Thank you for asking as well. I'm going to start off like I'm going to do here for the first couple months is with the whole COVID pandemic issue going around. Is how and your wife Kathy, and your two daughters, Mila. Is it Quinn the newborn or is it Mila? Mila.
Mila is the older daughter. She's 4, and then Quinn is she just turned 6 months.
Hopefully, you and your family are healthy and happy.
We actually at the let me see around what was it, June? Me and my wife actually got COVID. We we quarantined for 10 days, but at that time our newborn was had to be with us, so our newborn ended up getting it also. And but yeah, luckily our newborn was asymptomatic and uh, didn't get sick at all. No symptoms whatsoever. So me and Kathy got it pretty bad though. We had the fever and couldn't taste anything, and we just had to lock ourselves in the room for about 10 days.
So I'm glad family is healthy, and we're going to start off now with the opening set. 5 questions. Just going to throw them out there and see what sticks. First one is your favorite sport other than darts,
Football.
and your team.
Green Bay Packers, baby. Go Pack.
I would say who my team is, but I probably get a lot of haters on here, so I'm not going to.
Yeah.
You can
Well,
probably see.
I'm looking in the background, and yeah, I apologize. Sorry about Dak.
Yeah, that was horrible. I mean, that was a just your foot's not supposed to be pointing east.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, your favorite high school subject.
Oh, other than PE,
Yeah, other than PE.
I'm gonna have to probably go with physics. I actually really enjoyed the stuff you learn in there, because you can apply that to a lot of things, and it was just one of the more interesting, and it did help that the teacher was interesting to have as a physics teacher too. So, but yeah, definitely physics.
Okay, now if there was going to be a film based on your life, who would play you?
Other than Jackie Chan,
Come on.
um, based on my life, um, I am gonna have to go with I'm gonna go with Jackie, and not because of the martial arts. Yeah, I'm lacking in that section, but no, just I think his work ethic and the way he was on set with people. Just I mean, not he's not my favorite actor, but I just feel like I like his work ethic. I like how he did his own stunts. I like, if he wanted to get something done right, he did it himself. So I feel like that would probably be someone that would that play me, and it does help that he's Asian. So
Uh, okay, that's well, I can see what the work ethic is. He's one of the most respected men in Hollywood, so I
yep.
can see where that would be. Okay, your favorite meal.
Oh man, I enjoy a good steak.
Oh,
If I'm gonna do my own home cooked thing, it's definitely steak. I got to thank my dad for the the recipes and showed me how to cook those certain things. But steak is definitely one of my home cooked meals. Um, Outside of that, I enjoy sushi. I love sushi. Every country I've gone to that we have a tournament, we find a sushi place to go to.
now we're gonna go for A on this. What's your favorite cut of steak?
Um, I enjoy a ribeye. I enjoy the like the fattiness of it. At the same time, it's just tender. It's a good cut. I really enjoy a ribeye.
How do you like it? Medium,
Oh, medium rare, baby.
medium
Like
rare.
if I can go a little bit more red without it being cold in the middle, I would.
Okay, and the last one, your favorite musical artist.
My favorite musical artist. I'm gonna have to go with my favorite type of music is hip hop rap, and I'm a big Ludacris fan. So with rap, it would probably be Ludacris, and then I'm gonna go with if you want to go with a singer, um, I'm gonna have to go with probably John Legend, one of my One of my faves.
Nice choices. Okay, let's get into the interview.
All right.
Soft tip or steel tip? Which do you prefer and why?
Such a loaded question. I get that a lot. If you are a dart player that wants to make it to the big time and be like, like win the world championship of something, I mean, you have to go steel tip. I mean, so far, I mean, there's some big soft tip tournaments that I've been a part of and won. I've done, some pretty big things with that, but the energy, I haven't even been there yet to Ali Pally, but I'm gonna have to go with, if I want to go with a favorite, like the action of it, I'm gonna go with steel tip. um I just am a strong believer in, like, if you're gonna play a sport, you have to play something that goes to the big time, right? Like, you have to, if you feel like you are at that caliber or you want to get to that caliber, you have to look at the world championships and look at these guys averaging 100 to 124 over a whole match,
Mhm.
and just be like, man, like, if I'm not playing like that, then I need to do something different, or maybe join football or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but
Better your competition, like you get better by playing better and better competition.
yeah, 100%. And if I was to talk about soft tip, what my favorite aspect of that is, I just like how many people soft tip draws in. Obviously, because there's different levels, and you're able to keep averages and stuff on the dartboard. But I just enjoy going to tournaments, especially overseas, and seeing how, like, aspiring these people are that come to the tournament, and um, they're there seriously. They're all dressed up in dart shirts, like they're professional, and I just like seeing people coming up that take it that serious, and I think soft hit does that. Um, but yeah, definitely, I'm gonna definitely go with steel tip for my, if I was to go favorite.
And your current darts that you're throwing for
Um,
each one.
oh, okay. I'm currently sponsored by Target. Um, they brought me on probably a little over a year ago, and I've been with them and been very happy. So I'm throwing their barrels. They made me a custom barrel, the lightning limbs, and um, I'm very, very happy with how they came out. I My flight and shaft setup is with 8 Flight, and that's a brand of Target also. And I just think they take everything from all of the flight manufacturers. I'm obviously don't want to bash anybody. I'm not going to, but just, I think they take all the good aspects of all the different flight manufacturers and put it into one flight. But I've been, yeah, that's my flight and shaft setup and barrel, and then tips. I'm at the point now where I just use whatever sticks. So whatever I don't have to keep changing. At this point, I'm using the L style, the premium points. So um, yeah, those. I mean, so far I haven't had to pick up many darts, but using those, so that's what I would go with.
Right now, earlier this year, you won the Las Vegas Open, and then we had this whole dart stoppage with the COVID and everything. Do you think that really hurt your momentum? Because it looked like you were playing really well, like early in February and March.
Man, I've had a couple talks. I'm pretty good friends with Danny Baggish, um, and me and him talk quite a bit. Um, and he's actually, obviously he's been on a roll. I mean, everybody knows what he's been doing, but
Mhm.
he asked me daily whenever we talk, man, are you going to throw today? Are you going to throw some matches? And ever since the COVID hit, and at the same time my wife was pregnant, and now we have the newborn, it's been very difficult to get a steady practice routine in. So I am going to say that it COVID especially put a moment, like a dampener in my momentum. I felt really good going into that, and then now I walk by the board, I throw some darts, and I'm just like, man, like, I don't have that same drive to, because I don't know what's coming up next. I don't know what I can go to. A lot of my stuff was overseas for the soft tip especially, and I mean, all that's canceled. We can't travel, so it did kind of, along with everything that's going on in life, it did put a little bit of a dampener on it, but it's just excuses though, right? Like, I just gotta put my mind to it.
Not really, because it really has put down on a lot of things. But like for me, I just started playing really soft tip and just dedicated soft tip like 15 months ago,
Okay.
and it was so hard because I was watching it. I was watching some of your matches from the world from 2017, 2018, 2016, and I wanted to really get into it. And I got into a remote dart league, and then that went because of COVID, and I ended up getting the Target Nexus board.
Oh, nice.
So, if being a new player like myself, what would you give us for a tip for like practicing and what we should really be focusing on?
Um, what I always tell people when it comes to a practice routine is in my mind, it really doesn't matter what you do and how you practice, it's how you apply it. Um, you can go up to the board, and I've heard of people saying, "Oh, I'm not going to leave the board until I hit 300 triples and 500 bullseyes." And that's all great, and that works on your repetition, obviously. But you can hit I've seen those same players say, do that and post daily about it, or tell people at dart tournaments, but then they're out first round of the tournament, or they don't, there's no results. So like, just from my own practice routine before to what it is now, it's more about applying what you do and really taking it seriously and taking it to heart. Like if I go up there and I go 3 rounds and I only hit 2 bullseyes, like I really get down on myself. The
Mhm.
same way I feel like I would in a tournament. Because if you don't pressure yourself, practice, I mean, yeah, you can sit there and do this all day, right? You can sit there and you can throw,
Mhm.
you could have the perfect, I've seen people with the perfect form, but when it comes to a tournament, something happens to where they're not producing results, right?
Mhm.
So I think my biggest thing is that whatever you do, and I'll share what I do, but whatever you do already, you have to apply it to take Danny Bagish's averages, for example, in the CDC. And what I do, um, well, not recently, but if I was to go to the board right now, what I would do is I would take his averages that he shot each game, and if I didn't produce something close to that with my practice routine, I'll just, I guess, share my practice routine is I just play 501, and if I don't take the game out in 15 darts or less, then I lose that leg. And that's modifiable, obviously. Like you can modify that to however, whatever it is for you. If it's 27 darts for you, like whatever your number is, you take that, and if you don't hit that mark, then you lose that leg and you play a best out of whatever sets.
Yep.
But I definitely apply my practice to what's going on in tournament wise. Like if I want to be the best in the United States at steel tip at the moment, I have to beat Danny Baggish, right? So
Right.
I have to be able to shoot his averages or higher. So you know what I mean? Like when
Mhm.
I go to the board and I practice, if I shoot an 82 average, I have to, I can't tell myself that that's acceptable,
Right.
right? So you have to mentally kick your own butt, right? Like you have to be hard on yourself. You can't just say I practice 8 hours a day, but at the end of the day, if you weren't shooting those averages that you wanted, you just like, oh, okay, on to tomorrow. Like you can't really do that. You have to be hard on yourself, and you have to self critique. um it's a huge part of it, man. Like I get asked many times a month like what my practice routine is. And I just tell people, whatever you do it to where you're challenging yourself, and you're bettering yourself, and you're putting yourself in situations for a tournament. Because as much as you practice, if you go to a tournament and you're out first round, you spent money on a hotel and flight, that it'll get discouraging. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
that's kind of what I go with.
Yeah, I had the same philosophy when I bowled many moons ago. If I shot 190, I'd want to shoot 200. If I shot 200, okay, I shot 210, I shot 220. Okay, I shot 230, but I missed a certain spare, which could have made my game higher. Like you said, just pushing yourself to not over pushing yourself, but just challenging yourself to get better and better.
Right.
Okay, now it's a funny segment that I like to call the 180 segment. This is where I get to have Chris Lim ask me a question if he so desires. So, floor is yours.
All right. It could be about anything.
It can be about anything.
Okay, I'm gonna skip the Dallas Cowboys segment.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
It's too soon. Man. It's too soon. All right. Well, that's an on the spot. That's an on the spot thing. I like that. I'm gonna go with what made you want to get into interviewing people and doing your own kind of like, was it a YouTube show, right?
Yeah.
What
Uh,
what what motivated you to want to do that?
Believe it or not, I was watching uh, Daniel Booth, a mutual friend of ours, do it. Plus, I also do a broadcasting for it's called the Simulation Football League. Uh, it's a controllerless esport where just say if you're coaching Green Bay, I'm coaching Dallas, we each submit a playbook, and then the team play each other, and then they're broadcast live on YouTube, Twitch, and on 11 Sports on the Dish Network. So I do play by play and color with that. So it was like I was always into sports broadcasting and stuff like that. So when I saw Daniel do it, I thought I want to give it a shot, and he set me up with yourself and a couple other players, David Cameron and Alex Reyes, who I'll be interviewing later on. So yeah, plus it gets me more into the dart world to pick everybody's brain, so to speak.
Gotcha. I like
So,
that.
all right, now I'm going to ask you two questions. Now it's going to be interesting. So, what's your greatest achievement in darts that you've done so far? I mean, you've traveled. Like you said, you see the patch on your shirt, the world. You're from Target with Target. What's your greatest achievement in darts?
I'm gonna split that into a two-part answer.
Okay.
My greatest achievement tournament wise is definitely gonna have to be the world stage over in Malaysia. And it's one of those tournaments that I've been playing for a few years already. And I'll tell you, just by going over there and realizing how good people are and how much I can't afford to miss basically any dart if I want to win a tournament over there, like especially the soft tip,
Mhm.
it motivated my practice routine. So my greatest achievement to actually finally win was definitely the world stage in Malaysia. Like that feeling right there, man. Like there's only a handful of people in the world that have actually won that tournament. And I happen to be one of them. And it really, it's a humbling experience too, because I really feel like my work paid off. You know, like I'll tell you right now, I didn't shoot my greatest darts that day. But the thing was, is that in moments where I had to hit, I did it. And it was just it was a overwhelming experience, man, to win that. So like that would probably be my greatest achievement tournament wise in darts. My greatest achievement in darts, period, was actually operating and running a dart route with leagues and all that. And the reason I say that is because you know, there's some people that I got into darts that ended up going over with me to Malaysia, actually, was one of them. And he ended up winning a singles in the A division over there. And just to know that I didn't really necessarily get him into darts, but because of the stuff that I was running, he ended up going over there with me and experiencing what I experienced. And I just really like the fact that as being a dart operator and running a leagues and a route, that I'm able to bring the excitement of darts and share my experiences with people that play for me. Obviously this whole COVID thing has pretty much
Yeah.
stopped that dead in its tracks, but you know, whenever we actually can get back into that, like that's something that I still have a passion for. My dad's been doing that for 20 plus years, and I actually took over the dart route from him. And that's just what probably one of my like I say, one of my great achievements is just being able to bring people into this sport.
Yeah, I have for like the friends of mine in my dart, like they never played soft tip before. It's like we're gonna get killed. It's like it's not about that. It's about coming there, getting a good team, and just getting better, just slowly getting better. And
That's actually the other thing. When coming up, I was mad when I lost to the best player. You know what I mean? Like the people that crush everybody else, and everybody's like, oh man, like there's no way we're gonna beat them. Like I felt like if I was playing in the league that I needed to, it's the same concept as like how I feel about Danny right now. Like if I can't beat him, or if I can't produce something that'll beat him, then what am I doing? So it was that way coming up for me. And I feel like more people need to have that mentality. And that's how the sport will continue to grow, because there's always going to be your top shooter in the league,
right,
but if you're not doing something to better yourself, and move from the C division up to the B division next time, like you're not, I mean, either do it for fun or don't get mad. I mean, I don't know how,
yeah,
there's really no way else to put that. But but yeah, like players that have that mentality of saying like, oh man, like I'm gonna get crushed, like you have to ask yourself, like, what are you playing for?
right,
Are you
right,
playing for the fun of it? Because if so, then that's an okay answer. But
right.
if you're playing to get better, that's definitely the wrong mentality. Like I don't know if people know that, or they just don't want to admit it, but you have to say like, man, I want to go out and I want to beat Chris Lim in league tonight. Not the mentality like, oh, I'm gonna go and lose.
Mhm.
So yeah, I know exactly what you mean though.
Yeah, that's the mindset. Like when I got into it, it's like, okay, I want to, because it was just throwing at the local club that we were at. So I'm like, I gotta start throwing at home. So I got a Viper. Well, then we were playing online, and playing the remote matches, and then all of a sudden it's like that was gone. I'm like, I need something else. So that's when that's when I got the Nexus, and I started playing in leagues like that. So yeah, if you're playing somebody better. To me, if I'm playing, just say if I'm playing against you, it's gonna drive me to try to beat you and try to have me play my best game. And I think, like you said, that's what helps grow the game, and with that enthusiasm and everything else. So I couldn't agree with any more with what you said. The obvious question that I'm sure you get asked a million times, and I'd be remiss if I didn't ask it: what's it like being the son of Paul Lim?
Who's Paul?
Some random guy that's been darts for a long time, and
Yeah.
believe it or not, he was the first match I ever watched, and it was when he hit that 9 darter, and I was hooked. From that point on. I was hooked, watching him winning tournaments for the world tournaments, going up against Roy Dam, and all those folks over there. Really got me. What's it like? I mean, I just have to know.
Well, it started off a little bit of, well, I'm not going to say started off, because I was before darts, like he was my dad. It's great, right? But when I got into the dart scene, it started off a little bit annoying. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I wasn't instantly a 17 in soft tip, and I wasn't instantly a high 80s, low 90s average shooter in steel tip. I had to come up from somewhere. So coming up, I would go to tournaments, and then I would play against somebody, and the first thing they would say, like, "Oh man, you're Paul Lim, son." Like, God damn, like I'm about to lose, like, and it would instantly throw like a different aspect on it to the match to me. Like it's just like, oh man, I got to live up to my dad's footsteps every time I throw a dart, and it got annoying for a while. Like and whenever someone asks, or like whenever someone say, oh, who won that tournament, or who'd you just play, and they'd be like, oh, that's Paul Lim's son. Like, okay, like I mean, I do have my own name, but
Yeah,
the further it went on, I started realizing that's not such a bad thing. Like it'd be like I have to look at it like if I was like let's use LeBron James for an example. Like if his son gets into the NBA, right? He's going to be expected to do great things because his dad's great, right? And
hmm
so I'm a basketball fan too. So like if I would probably have the same questions or I would, oh, that's LeBron's son, man. Like rather than, so I had to take a different look at it. I couldn't think of it like that as annoying anymore. And I had to think of it as like, man, like people respect my dad, and I got to do what I can do to live up to what you know he paved for me, and what obviously his talent. So um now it's amazing. Like I could say, like, just if anybody asks me, man, it's amazing.
That's when I introduced you. I didn't introduce you that way, just for that reason, because I'm sure, like you said, you were
I'm on my
annoyed with.
laptop right now, and what I did, I would have reached for the top, and I would have just like I would have closed it. Like,
Yeah, see, and I mean, I wouldn't know because none of my parents were successful like that, but I would think that, like you said, oh, that's Paul Lim's son. It's not. It was not. Oh, that's Chris Lim. That's Paul's son. And try to getting out of that probably was like you said, it was annoying, but I think you did all right. So now we're gonna go to the three dart out, the three last three questions of the interview before I give you game shot. And the first one is, I was reading a couple of your hobbies like the Xbox and you like golf. First question: if you had to play one golf course in the world, what would it be?
mm, um, I'm just gonna go. I mean, I'm gonna go with an obvious answer. Pebble Beach. Uh, I mean, it's just I don't know why I haven't made it up to play yet. I know it's expensive, but it's just like I like playing golf, and that's somewhere I should go and play. But it's just like the nostalgia of the course.
Mhm.
I would love to go and play Pebble Beach.
Okay, number two, a night out at the casino, or we find you at a slot machine or a table game.
Oh, it depends who I'm with.
You're with your
If I'm with,
buddies.
oh, me and my buddies, we all play table games. We're Pai Gow Blackjack.
Oh, I
Uh,
love Pai Gow.
oh man, my dad ingrained that into my brain since I could start gambling. But I love Pai Gow. I love Blackjack. I love Texas Hold'em. I actually play poker quite a bit. And but if I'm with my wife, or if I'm with my some of my friends and their girlfriends or wives, it's more exciting to play slots. So we like to do that. But my heart's on table games.
And the last one, which would you rather? 170 out shot to win a major title, or throw a televised nine darter, but it's against your dad?
Man, that's a good that is a you know what, man? That is a good question. That is a very good question. Um I'm probably not, I'm probably not going to pick the nine darter against my dad, because I think I would be a mess after I hit it. I beat him once. I beat him once in a tournament um, overseas, and it was a side event singles match, but there was 2,000 people watching our match, and it was just a floor match. It wasn't a final. It wasn't anything. It was like, I think it was like top 16. Oh, sorry about that. You still
That's
there?
all right. Yep, still here.
Let me see if I can get you back here. How the heck do I do that? Okay. Can you see me?
Yeah, I haven't
Okay.
lost you.
So yeah, I was a mess after I actually beat my dad for the first time, and I'm not gonna lie, man, I teared up a little bit. It was a crazy match. It was obviously I was an underdog. My dad was just shooting lights out at the time, and I just played amazing. And it was kind of an attest. I could say like that my skills that I had been working on finally paid off. And that's one goal I always had. I was like, man, like if I don't beat my dad in a major tournament, like that's one milestone I'm gonna miss out on. So I'm gonna have to steer clear of the nine darter against my dad, man. Like, cause I don't know how my last dart would be on double 12. I feel like my hand would be doing this. Um, so I'm definitely gonna go. I'll go with the 1070 in a major.
All right. Well, I want to thank Chris Lim for the interview. Now it's game shot. This is where I give you the floor to thank your sponsors, fans, and whatever. So, Chris, the floor is yours.
All right. So um I want to thank everybody, that obviously that supports me in any kind of way, whether it be just following matches, posting, good job on a tournament win when I post, or good luck before a tournament starts. Like, I thank all you guys, and especially people that have actually supported and got my darts and flights. And there's some people that have, obviously I've switched to a few different companies, but every time I switch, like they're with me. They like what I put out. They like me as a person and a player. So I want to thank all of them. And I definitely want to thank Target and 8Flight because they are doing some amazing things for me, and um, they really believe in what I can do, and they're very motivational too because they're such an elite company. It's definitely important that I stay on top of my game at all times. So I got to definitely thank them, and definitely thank you for having me on this interview. And I appreciate it means a lot being the first person to be on your show. And I wish you the best of luck.
I appreciate that. And everybody, that's Chris Lim. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.